Cheers.
After hours is officially
Hey,
open.
hey
Deanna
guys,
Bridge.
let me show you my ribbon stash for making snowmen.
Oh, jeez.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Looks good.
Mine
So
look
I've
good.
used all of these at one time or another, and I just whenever I go window shopping at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or whatever, I'm always looking for things I can use. So Christmas themed or other themes and so on. So there's a
Find
lot
that
you
in the
can do.
wrapping paper. You find that in the wrapping paper section.
No, they have whole ribbon sections.
Oh yeah, I have a couple tubs just like that too, Matt.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Been collecting them over the
Yeah, I don't
years.
make snowmen, so I that's the reason why I'm unaware of it. So
Yeah, and then there's like whole sections just with buttons and little trinkets that you could put on things. So it's like one of the guys I make that's pretty popular is a steampunk guy, and so he's got gears for buttons and little bronze clocks, and I put a little. They have this wire, a little green wire. I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
yeah,
But
well you can see the
it's
wire.
it's in the flower arranging sections. Well,
Oh, okay.
I hang a little key from that and comes down from his neck, whatever I've got around his neck. So he's got a key, a little plastic key hanging there. So it's all, very steampunky, and he's very popular. So there's a lot you can do, and they have whole button sections and little doodads like that you can put on things. So there's a lot of choices.
Well, during the holidays, Hobby Lobby has Christmas buttons and all kinds. They have like little earrings that you can hang on the bottom of ornaments that are, that
Earrings.
I use and stuff. They're all sparkly and pretty and things like that. So
Yeah, and in the like the charm bracelet section, this has a lot of those little doodads too.
oh yeah.
You guys got to find scrapbooking stores because they got way more stuff than
We do,
card
and
making
you and I.
stores and scrapbooking stores got way more stuff than you guys have ever dreamed of.
Yeah, you and I need to have that discussion, Scott.
Next time I go to the store up north, Matt, I will photobomb you.
Okay.
There you go, Scott.
I look forward to it, man.
Another week or two, I probably head up there just to check on things. I got to drop
now,
off some stuff.
do y'all have like just straight up like only scrapbooking stores? Is that what you're talking about?
So the lady that's doing our shirts for us, she has a card making store, and all she does is sell stuff to make greeting cards.
Wow.
And she does shirts and other, screen printing stuff. But she, her primary business is card making. That's all she does.
Very cool. I'll have to look her up. I have to look that up, see if I've got any around here.
Yeah, you probably do, Matt.
I'm sure you do, because there's a lot of people that make rubber stamps come out of Michigan.
Well, but I've also got like a fair number of hobby stores. I mean, probably within 20 minutes of me, I've got a Michael's, a Joann's, a Hobby Lobby, a Walmart, a Target. Not that I go there, but and a Meijer. So I wonder if the specialty stores are getting out competed.
No, because the stuff that's in the specialty stores you can't buy in those stores.
Okay.
So,
I'll check it out.
So the card making world has not gotten into big box stores. It's the people that make the stuff for card making. Yes, they do carry some of it, but the really neat stuff, the handcrafted stuff, come from artists like ourselves.
Okay. All right, I got a scrapbook and more in not too far away. Okay, cool.
Wait
right.
till you see all the embellishing creams and waxes and all that stuff that they use. It's crazy.
Inks.
I will have to
Inks.
block out an hour to spend in the store or something like that. So okay.
A little more than an hour, Matt. If it's a big store, it'll be more than an hour.
Duly noted.
Bring your wallet.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, we've had one of those down here in St. Petersburg, and My sister and I went there to get some scrapbooking for my brother's birthday. We did his life in 3 different scrapbooks. And the stuff they had, we spent 3 hours in that store. They've got, you name it, and they've got it. It's wonderful.
Well, it's clearly sounds like something I need to learn more about, and I wouldn't even know where to start. You know what I mean? So I'll have to do my research, I guess, and maybe find some more stores like this. So
So you can buy ink like this, Matt.
oh yeah, yeah. My
Yeah,
Joann's has
sure.
my Joann's has the distressed ink. I've seen that there, and
And
I got a buddy of mine who
And it's
does that.
eyedroppers.
What is it?
It's got
What is it?
eyedroppers to displace the ink.
Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like the old iodine dropper.
It's exactly
gotta-
what it is.
I got a friend of mine who does alcohol painting, and she turned me on to that distressed ink. And my local Joann's carries that because I saw it in there last week. And yes, I do make weekly trips to Joann's this time of year.
But that same company that makes that distressed ink also makes copper inks and silver inks, and there's
Is that Ranger? Is that Ranger ink?
that one I just showed you was Ranger, but that's just one of 5 different companies.
Gotcha. Okay. Tim Holtz.
Tim
All right.
Holtz, yep.
Yep. Okay.
But they get into paints too, thin paints and like your dot paints and all kinds of stuff, embellishing powders that are heat activated.
Really?
That actually some of them
Everybody
even
got
raise up off the finish. I mean, they bubble like when you heat them up.
You guys
Hmm.
don't you guys don't put all that work into those snowmen and sell them for 30 or 40 bucks, do you?
I'm getting 80 for mine, Kelly.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say. Somebody, one of the guys in our club today sent an email that showed a picture of a snowman, and like, I don't know if it was like whatever, like Macy's or some kind of store like that, and it was just a brown piece of wood, and it had 2 globes and 2 little dots for eyes. I mean, it was like absolutely nothing, and it was 40 bucks. And I was like, I sure hope those old school wood turners aren't selling those things for 40 bucks if Macy's is getting 40 bucks for just 2 little globes stuck together.
No, I started doing mine from a lady by the name of Holly Denny. Makes them. And she came to Campbell's one year and taught a bunch of us how to do all the embellishing, how to add all those things to them. And she's getting 85, 90 bucks for hers. And she does commissions. Like she's got a drum kit, and she's got a voluptuous female snow woman that she won't show people unless she knows you well. And there's a lot of interesting customized things she does. So it's
voluptuous. Never heard that described for a snowman
it's not a snowman.
or a snow woman.
It's a snow woman.
Yeah.
About that.
Like I said, she'd have to know you before she showed it to you. But that was also a commission.
I was at a place the past weekend. It was a farm, and it was a petting farm, and Santa Claus was there and stuff. And they had people set up, and I saw people, they had a spent shotgun shell that they painted white, and they drew eyes and a nose and a face on it. It was $5.75.
There you go.
It's
They were
mostly
selling them.
I've ever seen in my life.
They were selling them for that price.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they were.
I see that around here. They
shell
people buy that
was
stuff.
painted white.
Yep.
And a face drawn on it.
Yep.
Hey, guys, I got something to show you. Check this out.
How come you didn't show it earlier, Brenda?
Well, because it was, what happened?
You're there.
Oh,
You were there. There, I
Oh, yeah.
spotlighted you.
Check this out.
Oh, you made a, oh yeah, your spear.
Yeah. I made one. I did it.
Very cool.
Looks
Yeah,
great.
not bad. It did
Good.
come off the lathe before I was ready for it to do. And I had to hand sand one end of it, you know, but which meant I wasn't able to do Parfex 3408 on it either. So I
Well, no,
put
you,
it in
you
a
can
ring
just,
and
you can wipe the Parfex on it by
I
hand.
can. So I ended up spraying it with polyurethane. But
What's the
Now-
wood, Brenda?
Look up the mystery puzzle ball now and do one of those.
the what?
Mystery puzzles ball.
Puzzle
Mystery
box.
puzzle.
Right.
So imagine
I
what you
really-
got with designs all around it, and you push one of the designs, and a box slides out that you can take apart. There's a video on how to do it.
Yeah, it was Tomislav or whatever his name is, did it.
Yeah,
It was
but
great.
You know what, Matt? Actually, you know, even though he started that video out by saying he hasn't seen anybody do it, and it came from the Victorian era, if you
Okay.
that's not true. Let me tell you who actually did that video before him. Give me a second and I'll tell you the actual. It's not as good of a quality because it's from back in like the 90s, but somebody else actually did that, and his video was sort of kind of a copy. But hang on.
Okay.
Thomas who?
I'll post a link to Tomislav's video if somebody wants to see it.
Okay.
Right. I'll give you a link to this other guy who was the actual first one that did it.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Yeah, he calls it a Victorian snuff sphere.
And that's exactly what the other guy did in the 90s.
Interesting.
I want to know, why do you call this a spear instead of a ball?
Because we want to.
A
Well, I
sphere
won't
is
call
just,
it a ball because I can't say sphere.
Because
It's only a ball if it bounces.
Geometry. It's a mathematical
You-
term.
Yeah, you make it, you can call it whatever you want, Brenda.
that's right.
All right, thank you.
Some people call it a bead.
Bead. I call it a ball.
Well, one of the things that I made is I made a couple of, I have the Carter sphere jig, and you can make those yourself if you don't want to spend the money. But their sphere jig will let you do a sphere on the inside as well as on the outside. So I hollowed some spheres. Did I ever show you guys that? And filled them
Probably,
with stuff.
no.
And all right, I'll go dig that up too.
There's that
Thank-
link, Matt.
Thanks, Kelly. I'll check it out.
Alan Batty, back in like
Oh,
the
okay.
90s, and Tomislav was a copy of that. And I actually have no respect for people who act like they just designed something and figured something out, but they really didn't. You know what I mean? I like people
Yeah,
who
I'm with you.
I'm self-taught. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and figured it out. Well, bullshit, you're self-taught. You're YouTube taught. You know?
Exactly. YouTube University.
That's right.
All right, guys. All right, guys.
Or-
Can I share screen here for a second?
Yeah, Matt.
All right. So
Here, let me
I
highlight.
made this sphere after I came home from a Campbell's Hands-On retreat, and I got from Jeff Hornung, the walnut log. I got the sampler from the Intrinsic Colors from Hampshire Sheen. I got their sampler kit. Okay. So this is, I turned this sphere. Now this sphere is hollow, and I wanted to try all of the sample Intrinsic Colors and their embellishing waxes. So I cut the sphere into 8 sections and tried a little bit of something on every bit of the sections here. So this section down here was a very interesting sort of just using a sphere bit on a Dremel, and it used one of the colors. And this one here used the blue, and then I used the silver embellishing wax, and I burned these lines, and I burned these lines and used 2 or 3 different colors here. And then this was carved out with the Dremel, and then dry brushed over the top. And I don't know if you guys know what dry brushing is, but here's a different view of it.
Where you're just touching the edge, the profile.
Yeah, basically what you do is you get a little paint on your brush, and then you wipe the brush off on like paper towel or something, and then you just go briefly over the top. So that's how I'm getting the white colors on the top of this section here. Okay, and then this is the other side. And so on this one, I used one of the colors, and then I used one of the reds here, and this is like a plum, and this is the bronze embellishing wax here, and this is a carving technique with the green embellishing wax in it. So, and this is hollow, so if you shake it, there's like some nuts and bolts that I had laying around the shop that I put in the middle when I glued it together, and it rattles.
Hope you don't have a need for them later.
No, they were. I have a whole ton of them. They were in.
Damn it! I know I have some quarter 20s around here somewhere.
Yeah, they're. That's exactly what they were. They're quarter 20s.
Yeah, I know.
And
right?
and I had a whole bunch of them. So.
Nice balls.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This was paint pour stuff. So anyway, but thank you guys. Stop share.
Cool. Oh, look, Scott's announcing he's eating dinner. God, he was eating earlier, guys.
Yeah, he was eating earlier.
Uh-oh, what's he?
Look at that.
Hey,
$40. 40
what
bucks
can I
for that.
say? I'm hungry. Okay, I've been eating all day today for some reason.
He's a growing boy. Cut him some slack.
That's right.
Isn't that ridiculous though? $40.
That's amazing. 40 bucks?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Oh,
wow.
but that's a avant-garde. It's a blind snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, is that what that should be selling for $60 then?
That raises
Right?
the
Good Lord, it's blind.
good for them if they
Alright.
can get enough for it.
Matt, Nick Edgar sells an 8-inch snowman every year, and he sells them for $300 and something each.
I'm not surprised.
Well, it's got Nick's name attached to it, so
And he
Right.
makes them limited edition, so whenever you get one, it's a limited edition snowman.
yeah.
But every year they look the same, so I don't know how they're limited editions.
You drinking Diet Pepsi?
Maybe he's only
Scott?
making them or something. I don't know.
Well, they're like a resin hybrid, half wood, half resin with a solid
Okay.
wood hat.
Well, there's not one of them that are the same then if it's a hybrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but each one, each year he says limited edition, 20 whatever year it is, but then you go back and you see the other ones, and the only difference is how the resins mix with the wood. So
Well, yeah, well, that's what makes them limited because you're not going to get another one like it. I mean, it's good marketing.
oh yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm not complaining. It's like, man, if I could
Oh,
make a
sounds
snowman I
like
could
you're-
sell for over $300.
It
I mean,
sounds like you're whining about it,
No, no. If I could do that, I would definitely.
So now what we have to do is figure out how to make that happen, Scott.
Yeah.
One of our
What you
wood
need to do is
turners
make-
that's, one of
Go
our
ahead.
wood turners that's been in AAW magazine and done, does demos and all that stuff paid for is moving from here in Austin to Washington. So a few of us bought some of his art, and I bought this one right here. It wasn't the prettiest one, but it was the batshit crazy one. It's completely hollow with those
Jeez.
those axis turnings on it. I was like, man, that's the one I got to get.
What the heck
Is that
is
hollowed
it?
from the bottom?
That's crazy.
Looks like a
Yeah,
Kelly.
Who
like
did
an
that, Kelly?
alien pig or something.
it's that Craig Timmerman.
Okay.
Is it hollowed out through the bottom?
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Got to
which
plug
still
in.
doesn't explain that shit right there.
Well, it looks sort of like an alien pig of some sort.
Well,
Like Shrek?
that's just a whole lot of grinding and carving. For your top three pieces.
Multi-axis, and then grinding.
And he's using,
There's a
sewer
lot of
machine.
grinding on that.
using a sewer machine probe or something in there.
He's using jigs to hold it to turn the different multi-axes, and then
Yeah.
he does.
I
have to
buy
take
I
the-
buy that. I buy that. Yeah, yeah.
I bought that.
Yes, you did.
Still
Yeah, you
very
bought
Super
cool.
it.
rad. And
Yeah,
because
good job on it.
Hard to
because
do.
he has because all of his work is in like real high end galleries, he doesn't date anything. He just numbers it and this totally makes sense. And maybe I'll even start doing it. But you know how you'll get like how I've seen them at the Christmas parties or whatever, where someone wins the piece and you're going to take a look at it and you flip it over and it's like it says 1998 on the bottom of it. You know what I mean? So if you just number stuff, especially for galleries, a gallery doesn't want to have a customer pick something up and see it's 15 years old because they'll think it just hasn't sold for 15 years when maybe it just got delivered.
Stale
So they
date.
want to.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
I am completely on board with that. I don't ever date my pieces for that exact
Yeah,
reason. I
I
don't want
don't-
somebody to know how long ago it was I turned it.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't.
And
I
For
don't.
my gallery items, I use a Julian date because there's not many people that know what a Julian date is.
The only time I date something is if I'm making it for a family member, so when they pass it down, they know where it came from and what year and when I made it.
Yeah. So what
But
he
other
did,
than that,
he does
no.
is he just numbers everything, but he keeps it in a spreadsheet just so he'll have a recollection of what it was.
Yep. Good idea.
Or when it
Yeah,
was.
I'm nowhere near that organized.
I code date mine, so I'm the only one that knows what date it is. It just looks like a number to most people.
Well,
Yeah. So anyway, that's my big purchase or whatever. I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. I like that a lot, Kelly. That's cool.
Kelly, are you gonna make one of those now?
Gonna have to.
Have you started making your jacks yet, Matt?
I've looked at it. This time of year, I'm extremely busy, so I'm trying to fill orders and stuff. I do have I do have my diagram in the shop, and I did look at doing it today, but I just didn't have time.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with your thing too.
We'll get to it, man.
Yeah, I will
I
too.
started working on a hollow for him. I thought it was pretty rad. Mesquite.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Kind of
Cool.
wood is that? Really?
What is it, Kelly?
It's mesquite.
You gonna shine it up?
Yeah. Well, I don't like shiny stuff, but
Oh,
it'll be a satin at least.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So am I the only one that finished the challenge from last week?
How many people were challenged?
It appears that way. Clint, did you do your challenge?
2,
I
3.
got a respiratory infection, so I've been laid up for some days, so I didn't do shit.
6
Sorry.
of us.
Oh, okay.
Well, 6 besides me, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't started mine either. I've been too busy with orders, commissions, custom work for Christmas and whatnot.
Yeah, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, so.
I'm busy.
Right?
I'm busy making Christmas presents and Christmas orders.
Oh, well, I'm not that good, so I don't have orders.
My kid's been sick for the past week too, so he hasn't even been in daycare. It's been daddy daycare, so I haven't been as productive as I need to be to meet my deadlines. I'll be working tonight till 3 or 4.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, he was bouncing around pretty good this afternoon.
Yeah, I guess it was anomaly because he's up and down like a light switch. He's been sick the past couple days, fever and coughing, and puking, and can't send him to daycare like that. So
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, at least I'm not gonna be that parent. Sends my kid and gets every other kid sick.
Yeah, and then your kids get sick again. All right,
Yeah, I'm
Kelly, I
gonna take-
cannot
I'm gonna-
find this puzzle. you're
I'm gonna hit
talking
it, you
about.
guys. Have a good night.
See you,
Good
Matt.
night, Matt.
Take care, man.
Find that.
Night, Matt.
Hey, Dane, I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody heard from Dean?
No.
Let's see. I chatted with him a couple weeks ago, and he's moving houses, and so
Okay.
that's why he's predisposed. And the same with Donald Masterson. He is predisposed as well,
Okay.
because he's moving houses and downsizing. But he said everybody is good on that side, and he misses everybody, and he expects to be back in about 6 weeks.
Well, that sounds good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was
How are you
watching
doing?
this. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
Good.
I didn't turn anything this week.
Mhm.
Right. Well, you got an excuse.
I got a good excuse. I'll get
Yeah.
there. I've got some ideas in my head.
Yeah. The only one I failed to check on was Mark. And damn it, I feel guilty because I don't have an update for him.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that. I'm going to have to either call him or call Peggy and find out what's
Yeah.
going on.
Well, he was on last week for a little bit.
Was
Right.
he? Did he say anything?
He didn't say anything, but I did see his name in the
Okay.
roster list.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks ago, he was on and he said he was back to doing a little bit of turning, but beyond that, I need to give him a call and rattle his brain, see how he's doing, give him a hard time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna need some more names too for the new members, because I can't find anybody.
Oh gosh, there's like 40 new people in there.
And
there?
the first 3 that I looked up, they didn't have the camera on either. And I sent
Yeah.
a message to 4 of them. Nobody got back with me.
Yeah, I know.
So
Typical.
I mean, that's how it works, Brenda.
yeah.
Just gotta, filter through the names, and if the first one doesn't work out, then go to second one, third one, fourth one, and I mean, it seems like, as we're calling on people, they're totally game for it,
Yeah.
so
And then when I do find
which is
somebody,
great.
then Robert, he comes in and says, I'm already here.
Yeah, right.
Which was great. He's still here. Hi, Robert.
Oh, I know.
Daniel-
Robert was awesome.
Yes.
Since Daniel's
Yes.
got 2 cameras, Daniel can just challenge himself.
What?
Well, Daniel always has 2 cameras going, so he can just challenge himself.
Oh, I know, right? Dan, we're talking to you.
Daniel in
The
Michigan.
man.
Yeah, I know.
He just gotta decide which camera he's gonna turn the mute off of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't want to get you guys' ears ringing.
Well, you're
Yes,
doing
I
it.
know.
All you got to do is turn the volume off on the other one.
I did.
No, you
I
didn't.
did.
It's still there.
Now you got Weinhelm Echo then, buddy.
You did. You wouldn't be going, I did.
I must have bumped that button.
Doggone.
You have
Let's
too
be
many
on
devices
camera.
joined?
What's that?
Do you have too many devices joined?
Oh, he did.
It looks like he threw one on the floor.
Right? Nothing wrong with that. What you doing?
Hey, Dane, our tools are going to the welder tomorrow.
Oh, no kidding. Already?
Already.
Sweet. Guess that means
What's that?
I'm gonna have to have to get busy and get my rig set up then.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Well, Scott, you could explain it.
Well, I can actually show it, some of it. We're gonna make ring tools. One's gonna be a ring tool. The ring on the end.
Oh,
See that?
And a
okay.
hook.
On the end of a bar. And then the other one's gonna be a hook tool. Welded to a bar.
What kind of metal are you using for that hook?
We're gonna start out with an old plane iron. WO steel. W1 steel. Or not W1, O1 steel.
O1 steel.
I make my hook tools out of roofing nails.
We're gonna try and the ring tools are gonna be made out of old ball bearings. The race is off a ball bearing.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
I got some pieces of tantalum, which I heard good things about, but I haven't really implemented them yet.
Well, I was reading up on O1 steel. O1 steel is as good as HS hardened steel.
Yep.
And it can be ground on a CBN wheel.
Okay.
Now that's an advantage.
I called the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I called the guy at Wood Turning Wonders, and he said we can grind the races and the plain steel on his CBN wheels. He'll
Great.
stand by it that it won't fill them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know.
I had to call and ask because when I went out to a couple different
Verify.
CBN wheel websites, industrial sites, they all talked about grinding high carbon steel, and the O1 A2, and there was one other one that they said worked good, and the only one he told me not to use on it is W1, not to run W1 on a CBN,
Okay.
which is real. I mean, you'd have to have a plane iron that's really, really, I mean, 1700s to be what they would call
Yeah, that's-
W1.
Yeah, W1's, what the ball, the actual ball bearings are made from. So
Yep.
that's some.
And he said all you got to do to clean his wheels anyways is use slick stick, and it'll clean that wheel right up anyway. So
Yeah, you apply the slip stick first and grind it.
Yep.
Good to go.
You can even use the belt cleaners, the little rubber sole belt cleaners you use on your belt sanders. You can use that as well. It's far less expensive than slick stick.
Well,
Well, like with Ken's wheels, he actually sends with his wheels a white eraser to clean the wheels,
yeah,
or at least he used to, because I've got mine that I use.
that's what he sent with mine when I ordered it. I don't know, couple months ago.
Right.
And the Mr. Clean Magic eraser will clean them too.
Yeah, that works good on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, any non-rubber eraser works. If your eraser when you erase pencil lead on paper, if it leaves a black carbon smear spot, the eraser is no good on the CBN. But if the eraser totally takes away the carbon, the lead from your paper with no black smear, that's a perfect eraser to use on to clean your wheel.
Magic eraser and WD-40 will take paint marks off your car too from where people door ding you. It'll take the paint mark off and it won't hurt your paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
Good to know.
Yep. 40 will do that?
So you
WD-40
use a magic eraser and WD-40.
Okay,
And then when you're done, just use some warm soap and water to get the oily film off from the WD-40.
Will that work, you think, if I sideswiped my concrete bird bath?
Yeah,
You know,
I got a
dent out.
huh?
It won't take the dent out.
Well, it's not dented, it's just a scrape.
Scratch.
so that
You-
ripped your paint off. It really didn't
You
deposit
probably
paint.
scratched the clear coat, Brenda, and you can buy a clear coat pen to fill in that scratch.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can go to the.
Well, it looks like it's just the paint on there.
I bet it ain't. I bet you it's the clear coat is scratched because clear
Yeah,
coat
clear coat
leaves
is
a white
removed.
scratch when you scratch it.
was the concrete painted?
Yes.
Try it, and if it doesn't take it off, then go wash it with some warm soap and water, and then go get a clear coat pen and fill in the scratches.
Oh,
It'll blend right back in and match the paint as long as the paint's still underneath, as long as you didn't scratch the paint off.
okay.
As long as you're not down to the primer, it'll still come back in the original color because all the cars now are painted and then clear coated over the top. That's what gives it its shine. The new paints don't have any finish in them. They're dull when they paint them.
I'm going to
Okay,
use
thin
WD-40
coat.
and a magic eraser.
Yep.
Yeah, so what we're doing with the tools is
You're muted, Dane.
hold on a minute, I'll be back in a minute while I'm being paged by my wife. Hold on.
Yep. We're just creating some new tools that you can make yourself without buying them.
Okay, now the hook, what do you do with the actual one with the welded ring on it?
It's
What do
a
you do
ring
with-
tool.
For hollowing.
It's for end grain hollowing, Sue.
Okay, okay,
The
Got
same
it.
with the tool. It's
Same,
also
same.
good for end grain hollowing.
Yes, they're both made for end grain hollowing.
okay.
And they're aggressive as hell if you don't use them properly.
Got it.
I know people who have broken their wrists not using it properly.
Oh my gosh.
Sue, I'm gonna use mine in my hollowing rig, so it won't be quite as dangerous as doing it with a handle.
Exactly. Wow, okay.
You're gonna have to do any special treatment after you weld that on there?
Yeah, first, Joaquin, we have to shape them after I weld it on. We'll grind shape, rough shape them. And then I'm gonna send them out to Dane and he's gonna finish them off and harden them. You gotta heat treat them, harden them, and then you got to finish doing your finish grind, and then you're gonna strap them to polish them to look like a carving tool. They're gonna be polished. And that's how you'll sharpen the edge from then on, is you'll polish them. You won't grind them. Once they're ground, once the edge is established, then after that they're strapped to keep them polished.
Right. What's the
Keep 'em
diameter of your ring?
Or a cover tone.
What was that, Joaquin?
What's the diameter of your ring? Look pretty big.
One's gonna be 22 millimeters and the other one's gonna be 27 millimeters.
That's gonna be a hogger, man.
Those would be huge. That'd be a lot of force on that tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, it's not made for, it's gonna be light cuts with it.
Yeah, I've got the one way. It's pretty good. Hardly ever use it, but I got it.
So there's some guy, the guy that we're watching did this is from Japan, I think, is where we got the idea from. And then I've been watching a guy out of Sweden that's building the same size tools.
Yeah.
And they are aggressive. I mean, you gotta take light cuts with them. You don't want to, it's not meant for hogging material. It's a finish tool.
Yeah, the commercial ones are usually like 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch because that way they're not too aggressive and dangerous.
Yeah, mine's about 3/8, okay, that one way. It does the job on that end grain.
Yeah.
Oh, they work great. And you can hog the wood away, you can finish cuts, you can
Yeah.
all that stuff. They're great.
We're just something we're playing around with, Joaquin.
I totally understand. I'm into that.
Dane sent me a link and I liked it so much that I told him that I'd he doesn't have a way to weld them up. So I said, well, if you'll heat treat them and finish polishing them, I'll ship them out to you and you ship me my 2 back when you're done. Because I don't have a way to heat treat them. He's got the forge to heat treat them in where he can get them to a constant temperature, you know.
Yes.
Well,
And I
guys,
had-
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
See
I
you,
think
Y'all
Brenda.
next week. Bye,
Yep.
guys.
Night,
Good night.
Brenda.
Hey,
Take
Brenda.
care, Brendan.
have a good one this week, you guys. Be safe.
You too.
Bye.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
So I had the parts, Joaquin, so I just told Dane I'd put them together and get them out to him.
Yeah. I used to have all that stuff, and my nephew went into business, building shocks and stuff, all my welding equipment and torches, and he's doing well. But I know where to go if I need that done, but I don't have it anymore.
Well, I got a guy that I do some woodworking for, and he's a welder, does a lot of welding and machining. So we trade woodworking for welding and machining.
Well, you can't beat that. Yeah.
No, and he lives about a half mile from my house. I could walk there if I had to. I'm gonna build some texturing tools too, Joaquin.
Which one?
So I'm gonna build. Let's see if I can spotlight myself.
You're on one.
Where the heck am I?
You're on.
Spotlight. So you recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
From a can opener?
Oh no. Okay. See, I thought it was one off a Sorby, but it's okay. Got it.
So that's one gear out of a can opener.
Why there was no way?
That's the other gear out of a can opener.
What's that for?
This comes from an old fashioned hand can opener.
Yeah.
It's a sprocket. And there's another sprocket with a different tooth pattern.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna mount those on a shaft with a bolt like that has the bearing basically on it,
Yeah.
shoulder bolt. And then they'll spin and I'll just mount them to a handle.
Yeah. The other day I was doing tops. We had to do tops for the Driscoll Children's Hospital, and I was embellishing them. And I wondered where else could I find gears to do that besides what I have already. And I never would have thought of a can opener.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it's
cool.
got 3
There you go,
different size
Scott.
gears in it.
I'm back, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, Joaquin, I don't know if you were in Martin's meeting 2 weeks ago, but they were talking about using gears out of old clocks to make texturing tools. One of the guys made some texturing tools out of gears out of an old wind-up clock.
I missed that meeting, but I was wondering where you'd find gears like that are used.
Yep.
Mhm.
But on a can opener, they're a little stronger metal than what you get on a. Yeah, Steven's showing one.
And the
Just-
leather.
And
How
then
about that cutting blade, what could you use it for?
I think you could cut your own teeth into it and make your own texturing wheel out of it.
Yeah.
Cut your own pattern in it. And then Dane came up with the idea of using, when they sew leather, they have a sprocketed wheel that lays out the stitching holes.
Yeah.
So you could use that as a texturing tool too. Oh,
I use
Dane's
those all
got
the
one.
time. I use my leather tools on texturing all the time.
Yeah, so here's one for a leather.
Yeah.
You just profile it a little bit with your diamond stone,
Yeah.
and it works beautifully. Use the same method.
They also make a sprocketed one like that for sewing fabric too. That they lay out the punch holes for hand sewing fabric.
Yeah.
And then you can take those wheels. You can also just grind iterations off on them and make your own patterns within the wheel itself.
Yep.
You could do stacked Star Wars's and use that as a embellishing tool.
Yeah.
So somebody else said you could use the wheels that you use for truing up stone grinding wheels. They take them apart and use those wheels too.
Yes, you
Oh
could.
yeah. I got one of them.
I might have one of them still laying around too.
Yeah, I got one laying right over here. So I got
One
my
of the
stone
videos
wheel
I seen, they
grinder.
took them apart and used the center wheels of it.
Yeah, pull
Yeah.
the little cogs out of them. Yeah, that would work great.
Yes, it would.
Called thinking outside the box.
Right.
There's so much stuff that we throw away that we could use for texturing tools. I mean, my goodness, anything that's got some kind of sprocket or tooth pattern to it could be used as a texturing system.
I call it looking at your pocketbook. You can go out.
Wow. I think that's what we wood turners do to begin with,
Yep. Go out and spend $200, or you can go and make it for 50 or less.
Right. Yeah, amen.
We should send that YouTube site to Joaquin. He'd probably like that, Dane. The one you sent me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
He also
he's got some good stuff.
He also made small finial tools out of drill rod. You know what that is, right, Joaquin?
A finial tool.
Yep. So he made a baby skew out of a 6mm drill rod, which is 1/4 inch.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I do have a 1/4 inch.
So then what he used for a collet to hold it in his tool handle, he took a hole saw collet, because it's got a 6mm 1/4 inch hole through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And that he mounted that into a wood handle, and that's what holds his drill steel.
What about Jacob's chuck off an old drill?
Yeah, you could do that too, but this is nice and small, and it's
Right.
Okay.
Then the other thing he did is he took old hole saws, like from 1 inch down,
Yeah.
cut them in half, cut the teeth off, ground a bevel on them, and now he's had little finial tools that are small angles.
Yeah, I've done that a hole saw to smooth a sphere out.
Yep.
Mhm.
But he cut them in half, and then you had 2 tools out of one. He welded one to a rod, and the other one he left enough so that it would thread on the end of the original device that held it in the drill.
Okay.
But when you think about it, that little collet is pretty small. It wouldn't take much. You wouldn't need much of a handle for it.
No, you're
Right.
right.
And it's already got the set screw in it and everything. You don't have to. You just got to glue it in. But he was making those miniature finial tools out of drill rod, 6mm drill rod.
Sounds like a 7018 rod.
Could be. It's just hardened steel drill rod is all it is.
Yeah.
But he was making fingernail grind gouges out of it and all kinds of stuff. Gouges with no curve. They were flat top They look like a fingernail grind on the bottom, but they were flat on the top.
The
Yeah,
fluteless.
it's just,
No fluid in them.
just what he's talking about, your hole cutter.
Yep.
And so he's talking about using this
Okay.
as the collet,
Yep. Or the center one for the collet too.
or you can use the center one. Ah. I got my Allen wrench stuck. There must be a little bit of rust on there. I can't pull it off, but
Yeah.
same thing, it goes into your
Yep.
tool rod.
Yes, sir.
And this side here, it's got your set screw. That's gonna
Yeah.
hold your drill rod.
Or
And
he
it's
was-
nice and small.
Yes.
Yep. Or he was using ones like this, and you just take this big ring off. This is a regular hole saw one where you can screw a hole saw on it.
I've got several of those.
Yep, and you can buy these. You can buy just the chuck.
Yeah.
They're pretty reasonable.
Yep.
But then you can screw a half a hole saw on them if you leave the back and make yourself miniature gouges or miniature roughing gouges or whatever you want out of the hole saw.
Yep. And then even the cutters, for the hole cutter, you can use those cutters, as I'm looking at it now. You could use those cutters in a hollowing rig.
Yeah.
And reprofile it, as needed.
Yeah.
It's essentially, way they're profiled right now, it's a spear point, like a spear point tool. Turn that puppy upside down and you drop it.
Take care, Kelly.
But it's just, it's just like a spear point tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was only using them on finials, little small stuff where you wanted like miniature tools, basically.
Yeah.
It was he's got a pretty interesting YouTube channel. He's got some pretty wild ideas.
Yeah, send me that YouTube channel. I need something to wake my mind up.
Oh, he'll wake your mind up, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Dane sent it to me and I spent another 3 hours watching videos. My wife was mad.
It's gonna be a fun project, for the two of us, tag teaming it.
Be interesting.
Come up with it.
Yeah.
Which guy are you talking about anyway?
What?
So which guy were you
What?
talking about?
He's a Japanese guy. Don't ask me to pronounce his name.
Yeah, God no.
Starts with an M. Ends with a Y. Are you on Facebook, Clint?
I am.
How come you haven't hit me up for a friend request?
Well, I should fix that then, shouldn't I?
Well, you most certainly should.
I hit you up. I didn't get a reply.
Oh bullshit! I hit accept.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
There you go.
last week.
Yeah, I haven't been on it for a week.
Well, see, whose fault is that?
Yeah, whose fault is that then? Don't blame
You gotta
Dane.
get on there. You gotta get on there more than once every blue moon. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
I guess Dane, I hadn't
it's-
thought of that because you post in the group, so I see your name there. But there
Well,
you go.
yeah, I post every day. I've probably already posted tonight.
Moo Young Workshop, it's called.
Yeah. See, starts with an M, ends with a Y.
G, ends with a G. Moo Young.
Gee, well, Japanese Y.
Yeah, Japanese Y.
Moo Young.
Moo Young. YOUNG workshop. Everybody's busy
And
writing now.
my recliner has a damn short in it. So I gotta track that down tomorrow. Oh boy, fun. That's what my wife was paging me about. She said, recliner won't work.
Oh, God forbid if the missus's recliner doesn't work.
Yeah, you got that right. So I got it to work, but
Boy, does my new dust collector work nice, Dane.
oh, it looks nice. It's a sweet looking rig you got set up there.
They probably sucked up a couple pounds of fine dust and nothing went into that orange bucket.
Yeah.
And nothing came out of that filter either. Other
Gotta
than
like
the,
that.
other than the stinky smell of that filter paper.
Right.
I don't know what it's coated with, but it sure stinks. I hope it goes away.
Yeah.
Seems like I got more suction too. And I don't even have everything all sealed yet. I got a little bit more caulking to do yet.
Yeah, just wait till you get all the little air leaks taken care of. It's really gonna suck.
I'm just happy I got rid of the super fine dust. That was my main goal.
All right, Clint. We're friends.
Right on.
Joaquin, are you on Facebook too?
Yes, sir.
I'll have to send you your friends request when I get to my other.
I thought we were friends.
Are we? Maybe we are already. I don't know. My phone doesn't like Facebook, so
Who?
my phone hates Facebook. I think maybe we are, now that you say that.
Scott Hamilton, Scott. Yeah, we're friends. I guess I sent Clint one.
Yeah, make him feel special, Joaquin.
Okay, I'm going to.
Good night, Patrick.
Did Cade sneak out on us too?
Nah, he's probably up doing baby duties.
Or he's walking in the house, maybe.